attention, please. Ladies and gents, a very good morning to you all. It's so wonderful to have you with us this morning. I am Samim Daga, your lovely host today. Former Spar Protea turned MC presenter, just because I'm a like of things, and in the Nepal family, that's how we roll. To say I'm proud and honored this morning would be an understatement. And one only has to take stock and reflect on what an incredible year 2022 has been for netball as a whole. It's been characterized by some great news, some exciting developments, key milestones, and really some groundbreaking stuff. And undoubtedly today is going to be no different. Before we get into it, just a few house rules. The ladies and gents will be just outside the door towards your left-hand side. Please also make use of our Wi-Fi details, compliments of Southern Sun, and you can use the hashtag NWC 2023. There will be lunch served as well at the end of today, so do stick around to make sure that you don't leave on an empty stomach. And of course, then we will have some media gifts on your way out as well. So let me start off by acknowledging some very special guests that we've got in the company this morning, starting off with Sumaya Khan, who is the DDG of Sports, Arts and Culture. She is here with the Gauteng MEC for Sports, Arts and Culture and Recreation, Me Moragane Mosupia. We've also got the chairperson of Netball World Cup 2023, Patience Shikwambana. And of course, our president of Netball South Africa, Cecilia Molokwane, alongside her executive, and our chief executive, Blanche Delagwe. We're also in the company of greatness in the MD of SPA Group, Ms. Vilma Moana, the chief marketing officer, Ms. Gugu Tembu, and of course, the pride of our country, whose shoulders our hopes rest on. No pressure, ladies. It is the SPA Proteas, accompanied by the captain, fantastic Ubongi Msomi. And last but not least, to you, our members of media, our friends to netball, who continuously grace us with your presence, a very warm welcome to you. Without taking too much time, I'm going to ask Mama Morogane Musopia to please come and officially open this morning's proceedings and welcome us.
Thank you very much, Program Director Sim. Allow me rather to acknowledge, not necessarily in the order that you have acknowledged, I'll do it a little bit differently, but serves the same purpose. Let me start by saying good morning to everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Again, let me start with our stars. I had the privilege of watching you play. You're lethal. You're lethal. Girls, you are just amazing. It was an afternoon well spent at my alma mater, actually. I was happy to be in their grounds, and you just took my happiness and put it at another level. You're just amazing. You know, whatever happens, take this with you. You are just amazing. You're very good. And also, as I'm acknowledging you, to tell you that the Premier also said I should tell you that he salutes you. He does. He is happy. Let me also acknowledge the President, boss lady, the woman who's got energy and I can understand how, you know, you are the type of players that you are with the President like you have, who screams at the top of her lungs when you play. It's encouraging. You are a very beautiful team. Let me also acknowledge the chairperson of the board, the leadership of the sponsors today, main sponsors, SPA and Telkom, the Department of National Sports and Arts and Culture. Mema Sisilwena, let me acknowledge you as well. President, by acknowledging you, I was also acknowledging your entire team. I nearly said cabinet, because the president that I work with has a cabinet, but I suppose they're a cabinet because they serve that purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, and the media at large, let me also acknowledge you, because indeed, as Sim has described, you are a very important partner in everything that we do, especially in this particular department. It's an adjustment that I had to make, and make sure that the relationship that we have with them, we build it, because they have a very important role to play in getting the message out there and changing the narrative about women's netball. So they are a very good partner. So Cape Town, as we all know, will be hosting the national games next year. Our role as Gauteng Department of Arts, Sports and Culture is to make sure that we have build up events before the main event next year. So I am going to go off on a limb a little bit here and share with you the fact that I had a meeting with your president. She made it abundantly clear to us that the quality and the caliber and the standard of the build-up must be either equal or surpass the games themselves in 2023. So as a province, we committed, and we are going to do that, especially after what you saw, that you girls, ladies, let me rather say that, how you play, we cannot fail you. So that commitment is done, and it is guaranteed. But it's not going to end there. It's not going to end there. There's work beyond the games themselves in 2023. So Chairperson and President and the entire team and the sponsors, the discussions that we had with your President in our office is that everything that we have committed to, we must also attach budgets to it, and most important of all, timelines, and the timelines that we must meet. And we will do that. So, as the Netball World Cup will be hosted in Cape Town, the Gauteng province will strive, I've just made that commitment, to ensure that we're able to host various other build-up activities. Some of them are going to be in townships, so there will be a balance. She made it clear to us that she would want to see townships and informal settlements, being netball players in those areas, also participating, being part of the major event itself. So for us as the province, it's not a big ask. Actually, you could have asked for more, but don't do it, you lost the opportunity. It's not a big ask, but it's an important ask. And we're going to make sure that we not only commit, we implement. So we are a team in the implementation, ladies and gentlemen. I must emphasize, it's not us alone, it's not you alone. It's us as government, it's yourselves as the board and the sponsors. We, as we go along, would want to be in a position where our involvement is not only as prescribed by legislation, it is also by interest, and it's also by building up to the work that we have to do. The Premier, when he spoke to us after he was inaugurated, he made it abundantly clear that he is not going to tolerate from us as MECs anyone who drops the ball, so to speak. And the pun, I think, was intended from his part, because, you know, in your field, you do use a ball to play. Proverbial as it is is important to us that we see it through. So I'm not going to speak to all of the commitments that we are going to do now in detail, but rest assured that all of the build up activities, President, that you've asked us to commit to and we have committed to will be realized. So in saying that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome all of you to this occasion today. And while I'm still here, Program Director, allow me to table and register the Minister's apology. I will be sharing with you his message that he asked me to do so. Welcome to Gauteng. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mayor Morakane Mosupia. It goes without saying, we have received government's support and commitment. And as our President would affectionately say, if you want to get things done, send women, and we appreciate your presence. Up next, I'd like to invite the chairperson of Netball World Cup 2023, Sis Patience Shikwambana, to let us know exactly why we are gathered here this morning.
Option. Program Director, Simi. I'll also do my part of the protocol. May I acknowledge the MEC from Gauteng Department of Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation, Mayor Morakane Mosupje. May I also acknowledge the Netball World Cup 2023 board members that are here. Let me also acknowledge our very busy and high-level president. She's a board member, World Netball. She's also president of Africa, and she's also the president of Netball South Africa, Ms. Cecilia Mlokwane. Let me also acknowledge our honored guest, Me Vilma Mani, and also Siskuku Mtembo. Let me also acknowledge our tournament director, Priscilla Masisi. Let me also acknowledge the executive of Netball South Africa that is here, our CEO, Blanche Delage. To our SPA Proteas, welcome as well. Members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Today, there is a warmth in my heart, and I'm sure there will be in yours as well. Our Netball World Cup mascot, Litsatsi, which translates its meaning to the sun. And that's what today has brought to us. A new dawn, a new sunrise, and a glow in our hearts as we make another major announcement relating to the Netball World Cup 2023. It gives me, as the chairperson of the board, and on behalf of the board of Netball World Cup 2023, it gives me the greatest pleasure and thrill to announce that the Netball World Cup 2023 family is getting bigger. You'll all recall that sometimes in March, we did announce our broadcasters. Netball is the biggest women's participation sport in South Africa, and next year's World Cup is a huge opportunity to not only showcase the sport to our fellow South Africans, but also to Africa and the world. Today, I can announce that we have another 2 premium sponsors who have joined the Netball World Cup 2023 family. They are well known for having given years of commitment and support to our great sport, and it gives me the great pleasure to welcome the 2 family members, our new family members, SPA and Telkom, to the family as official partners of the World Cup. This is a huge boost to the Netball World Cup 2023, and on behalf of all involved in this tournament, I want to say the biggest thank you to all of you from the bottom of our hearts as the board. For years, both SPA and Telkom have been part of South African netball landscape. Now they are taking their commitment to the world. I am sure that the partnership is as exciting and fruitful for you as it is for us. SPA and Telkom are household words in South Africa, but this association and partnership with Netball World Cup has just taken things to a new level. Well done, and thank you again for having them. Let me also say a huge thank you to Netball South Africa for their own commitment to the growth and success of netball in this country. But I'm mentioning Netball South Africa because they've been partner, Telkom and SPA has been with them for quite some time. And I always like to say, you can give me money, it's fine. But the key thing is how we relate to each other, how we value each other, and how we work in terms of being professionalism and the whole issue around integrity. And Netball South Africa, if it was not that in terms of how you're working with the 2 partners that we're announcing today, I don't think we'll be here, and we really appreciate what you've been doing. The World Cup is just another significant step down the road to Netball South Africa in terms of them growing this beautiful game in our country and the region. We are committed to putting on the best ever Netball World Cup. The world is coming to our country next year, and we are taking our country to the world. This will be a truly Afrocentric World Cup. South Africa, as we host with the 16 teams that are invited to the tournament, I am, as a chairperson and on behalf of the board, confident that we are going to help, we're going to ensure that the ongoing help and commitment of sponsors like SPA and Telkom and the other stakeholders and the entire netball community is going to be blown away with what we have to offer and what we're going to produce next year when you host the World Cup. I want again to thank you for the opportunity and the privilege to be part of the team, and we bring the most memorable and sporting tournaments to South Africans, and we hope that we're going to leave a huge legacy to a child in Mutale and a child right at Kailishe, because this event, it's more about uplifting women. It's more about inspiring those kids who want to be like Abubungwe, those kids that want to be like Cecilia Molokwane. And on that note, Telkom and SPA, welcome to the family, and thank you very much for being part of this.
Hi. Thank you to our chairperson of 2023 Netball World Cup. I love the analogy that you use around family, because we don't separate from family. We are together for life. And SPA has certainly shown that as far as Netball South Africa is concerned. So it's great to see that we're going to the world and large and beyond that. And I've got no doubt that we will certainly host the biggest and the best World Cup next year, with a bit of a razzmatazz, African, you know, just so that the world has an absolutely brilliant time when they come to our shores. Now, to welcome our next guests, to take a few moments as well, it gives me such joy and pleasure to welcome the two ladies who have been vital and at the center of everything that brings us together this morning. When we say SPA is good for you, the goodness overfloweth, and we've seen that as players, former players, and as netball as a whole. And SPA's commitment spans over 2 decades, which is something really remarkable. Telkom also has been an integral part of netball, as Mum Patience has already alluded to. And I think the ethos of connecting people is testament of how Netball South Africa aspires to connect people and also take netball back to the people of Mzansi. I'll therefore like to invite our 2 key guest speakers, Volma Mana from SPA. She is their managing director, and when she's done, she will be followed by the chief marketing officer, Usisku Gumtembu from Telkom as well.
Thank you. Being taller as I'm further away from the paper. Good morning, everyone. Honored and invited guests. Please allow me to welcome Honorable MEC Morokane Mashupya, President of Netball South Africa, Cecilia Molokwane. It was so nice to meet you this morning. Chairperson of the Netball World Cup Board, Patience Shikombana, fellow executive, Chief Marketing Officer Gugu Mtembu, members of the media, SPA Protea players, most importantly, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the SPA family, I welcome you to this important announcement. SPA for many years, in fact over 23 years to be exact, have been proud sponsors of the SPA Netball Proteas, SPA International Challenge and the SPA National Netball Championship. Netball is our group's flagship sponsorship. Today, SPA is delighted to announce that in partnership with fellow local domestic netball sponsor, telecommunications giant Telkom, we will be sponsoring next year's Netball World Cup in Cape Town. We will both proudly be premium partner of the Netball World Cup. It made perfect sense to our group to be part of the first ever Netball World Cup to be played on African soil. We are extremely proud of the SPA Proteas, who have gone from strength to strength, but we are also very proud to be associated with the SPA National Championships, which provide opportunities for young women from all around South Africa. Last week, we headline sponsored the SPA Diamond Challenge in Tshwane, which form an important part of the preparations for the World Cup for the SPA Proteas, Scotland and Zimbabwe. We are excited to officially be part of the Netball World Cup 2023 as our ongoing support and commitment to netball in South Africa. Now that we're only 241 days away, I hope the nerves have now 241 days, and you can count them on the calendar from the opening of the Netball World Cup in Cape Town, We encourage the country and indeed the whole world to join SPAR and Telkom in the countdown to the biggest netball showpiece ever to hit our continent. Well done and good luck, ladies. Thank you.
Just going to play a video, mate. Okay, just come through.
Oh, today's been really fantastic. So I've done a lot of photo shoots. The setup today was just phenomenal, and we're grateful for SPAR. We cannot thank them enough.
I hope I'm audible. Good morning to the Honourable MEC, the DDG, the Chairperson of the Netball World Cup Board and your delegation, the Netball South Africa President and your executive team, our netball partners, SPAR, led by Ms. Vilma today, our Program Director, of course, our stars, the SPAR Proteas, as well as everyone present and members of the media. Thank you for joining us on this exciting day as we get on our official road to the 2023 Netball World Cup, which will be held on African soil for the very first time. And it's a momentous occasion for the country, South Africa, and I hope that all of us are as excited about this as NSA is, us as partners are, and I think our players most importantly. We're proud to announce this partnership today with World Netball and Netball South Africa, as official premium partner of the World Cup in 2023. At Telkom, we remain passionate about seeing netball in South Africa grow from grassroots to greatness. Thank you. Through our partnership with Netball South Africa, we've seen extensive growth and development of the sport. We are elated to be part of making of history in our country for the Netball World Cup, and we're very delighted to have come together with our netball partner SPAR in supporting turning what was once a dream for NSA to reality. Netball has the power to change lives and inspire communities, and Telkom continues the journey to promote the empowerment of women and girls through impactful partnerships such as this one. We've seen tournaments such as the Telkom Netball League and the Telkom Netball Championships provide the perfect launchpad for young players to showcase their skills. Through our partnership with NWC 2023, we are able to bridge the gap in the development of netball and make it more accessible for local talent to be transformed into international superstars of the future. And through this, there's various programs that we're going to be undertaking and embarking on in ensuring that the MEC's dream of seeing the girls in the townships, in the schools across the country participating next year is a reality. The growth of the Proteas has led to them becoming one of the best teams in the world, and we are beyond excited to witness them play a World Cup on home soil. Would like to take this opportunity to thank Netball South Africa for trusting us as a strategic partner, and we look forward to the action, the excitement, and most importantly, the development this prestigious event is going to bring to our players, but most importantly to our country at large. I thank you.
Telkom has really been a supportive side.
They have the Telkom netball champs, and that way all the under 18s can get a chance to go out and perform at their peak.
The Telkom Netball League is fantastic, and it gives us the opportunity to get on court and get the game time.
It has given so much contribution to the development of netball in South Africa.
Giving players opportunities from grassroots systems to where we are.
It's top-class support.
It's exciting. The journey to 2023 is like really coming very soon.
It's fantastic that it's actually held in South Africa.
Them being part of that is also an anchor for us. We know that we are well supported.
To represent my country in front of my people is definitely huge.
It's going to be massive, and it's going to be a lekker vibe, so make sure you come and support.
Telkom is sponsoring the 2023 World Cup in Cape Town.
It certainly will be a lekker vibe in Shadeen van der Merwe's terminology. Thank you very much to the previous speakers who were here. It really is, I think, quite a phenomenal, time to be alive, to also just recognize that through Netball South Africa, public and private sector collaboration is a reality, and NSA has given us that reassurance. Thank you. Up next, the lady right at the forefront of it all, through her tenacity, her passion, her zest, has made the impossible become a reality. She is our fearless leader, a mover, a shaker, a doer. Please join me in welcoming President of Netball South Africa, Cecilia Molokwane.
Good morning. No, I've got a beautiful voice. The one that other men in the room die to have. Unfortunately, I have it. Let me take this opportunity to acknowledge the MEC, brand new from the box. We need to say that. MEC Mrakana Mosubje. Let me acknowledge the chairperson of the board. Let me acknowledge my people. To us as netball people, they are our family. They are not even sponsors to us as Netball South Africa, they are our partners. And I always say, when you are a partner with Netball South Africa, you are in trouble. Oh, Mudimuaka. You are so much in trouble, because when you get into a marriage with Netball South Africa, for which SPA and Telkom has done that. You know, when my husband was still alive, I used to say, I'm looking for the expiry date on the marriage certificate. And I couldn't get it. So there's no expiry date on a marriage certificate. So Telkom and SPA, sorry, you are in for life. Velma, let me acknowledge you as the MD, and Sis Gugu, let me acknowledge you today. I'm smiling more than ever. People will never understand why I'm smiling, but when we decided that we want to host 2023, when we went to SPA, and say we want a letter of commitment. Because one thing that will make us win the bid is the letter of commitment from some of our partners, not our sponsors. They call you sponsors overseas. I think that's lame. We call you partners. And we went and said, SPA, we need you to be on board. And SPA said, they tend to FNB and say, how can we help you? And we said, this is how we want you to help us. And that was good. And we did not even hassle. One phone call made everything possible. And that's how family is. And that's how I can call a family member and say, this is how I want, or this is how I wish things to be done, and they'll be done that way. And thank you, SPA, for that, because that moment of you not giving us any hassles gave us hope and said we can do it. But with SPA, we never doubted anything. That's why we say SPA is good for? Netball. There you go. Velma, you must remember, it's not good for you. SPA is not good for you. SPA is good for? Netball. You heard it, Velma. So don't go any other way. Then Telkom. I remember we were in a breach of not having any league, a semi-professional league, because one of the sponsors pulled out. And we made a press conference with Bruce. He was the man giving me those hard questions. But Bruce, thank you, because if you wouldn't have given me those hard questions, I don't think Telkom would be on board today. So Telkom saw us on TV pleading to say, as women, we don't have this and the girls must play. And they gave us a call and said, Netball South Africa, come, let's talk. Actually, Simi, we were not talking. They just made up their mind at the time to say, we want to partner with women's sport and we want to go with netball. When we went there, they said, how much do you want? We told them, and they doubled the money. And I was like, this is the best news ever. So we were happy to have them there. That's why you say Telkom leave your Munati. We say Telkom leave your netball. You hear that? So it's all about netball all the time. We are happy to have you as our family members that we can go to at any time. And we can say, this is what we wish for. And you always make our wish, you know, become your commands. And we thank you for that. Thank you, Telkom. Thank you, SPA. Please stay with us. We are vulnerable, and you're making it so easy for us not to be vulnerable, but to be out there and to want to think out of the box and to want to do more. For that, we are so thankful. Thank you so much.
Thank you to... So that just gives us a bit of a preview of what we can look forward to come 2023. And I don't think the world is ready. They have no clue what's going to be coming their way with a true African spirit. Last but not least, I'm going to ask Mayor Morakane Musopia to please come back and join us and deliver a message from our Honorable Minister, Natim Teto. Unfortunately, couldn't join us this morning, but he has sent a message.
Once again, Program Director, thank you very much for the opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to register a disclaimer. I'm going to read the Minister's message in the first person. So when we do have our engagement there as a panel, remember that what I'm reading are his words. No? So the commitments that I'm going to be speaking here are commitments at national level, but I will speak to them. So once again, Program Director, thank you for the opportunity and allow me to acknowledge Ms. Cecilia Mulukwani, the President of Netball South Africa, the lady with energy, very good energy for the country, very good energy for Netball South Africa. Mayor Patience Kwambani, the chairperson of 2023 Netball World Cup Board. Mr. Max Fuzani, Deputy Chairperson, 2023 Netball World Cup Board. Ms. Priscilla Masisi, Tournament Director, 2023 Netball World Cup. Ms. Vilma Mann, MD, SPA, the lady with the peppers. Ms. Gugum Tembu, Chief Marketing Officer, another lady with the peppers from Telkom. Members of the media, once again, ladies and gentlemen, and the lethal ladies. Maybe I should share this with people who were not at Tekis while they were playing that Thursday. I was there. I was counting, I don't remember how many goals they scored, but suffice to say, the two ladies who were what do you call it?
Shooters.
Who were shooting, yes. They missed only two. Ne? The rest, they got them in.
Shine.
Yeah, yeah. I was counting. I was really counting. So, yeah, if you go back and look at the score and you actually, reflect of what I just said, you'll realize why I keep referring to them as lethal, rather. The defenders, you won't let anything go through your fingers. Wow. Yeah. Okay, let me read the speech before I get animated with yourselves and the work that you did. So the minister says it gives great pleasure to greet you and today's guests using the 2023 Netball World Cup slogan, live it, live for it, siphila yona. SPA and Telkom have spoken. Today's sponsorship announcement confirms that the 2023 Netball World Cup train has left the station. It means it's on the roll. Like the proverbial elephant, the train needed some cajoling, coaxing, and tough talking to take off. But will be hard to stop as it gathers speed. When the series of events like today's, we want to ensure that the entire nation is on board. The next station is the East London International Convention Center on Wednesday, the 30th of November this year, where the official 2023 Netball World Cup official draw will be taking place. To tell the truth, Ms. Han and Ms. Mtembu, with SPA and Telkom's long-standing relationship with netball, we would have been surprised if you had not signed up for South Africa's biggest netball event. On behalf of the Government of the Republic, we wish to convey our sincere thanks and gratitude to your organizations for joining hands with us in the biggest venture to be hosted in this country since the 2010 World Cup. So your contribution to putting South Africa on the map and to boot, this is not what the minister said, that's me, and to boot, and to boot, it's only women there. And thank you for making me part of the team. So you're right, program director, if you want something done, ask women, it will be done. So, back to the minister, we are so happy that you are both aboard the train, whose last station will be the International Convention Center in Cape Town from the 28th of July to the 6th of August next year. Hopefully, other sponsors will follow your example as we go ahead. With the level of expenditure we have invested in this major sports event, failure is definitely not an option. I wish to take this opportunity to encourage the media to provide as much support as you can so we can provide no less support for women's sports than we did for sports for men in 2010. In case some people did not know, World Netball did not do South Africa a favor by awarding the hosting of the event to us. They did so on merit. Amid stiff competition from countries who had the experience in hosting such an event, our Proteas team will do well by being fierce competitors, so we do not end up spectators at home. And I'm definitely sure, after what I have witnessed, again, this is me, it's not the minister, but I've seen it. Minister, I have seen it, so yeah, I agree with you, they will do it. We invite all South Africans to promote the event to the best of their ability, all the way from here to East London, onwards to Cape Town. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Masupia, for delivering that speech. I see you quite cautious about what commitments you make to us, because you've seen our president doesn't take words just for granted. So that pretty much wraps up, I think, the keynote addresses and messages. And we're going to get ready now for the panel discussion. And I would like to invite Patience Shukwambana, the chairperson of Nepal's World Cup 2023 board, as well as our Madam President, Cecilia Molokwane, and Mayor Masupia, if you can rejoin us again. But before we do that, I would be amiss not to take the opportunity. We've already seen what we can expect next year in terms of what Cape Town is going to offer us and the world. And of course, I would be amiss if I did not use this opportunity to also give you a glimpse of our fantastic mascot who's going to be ushering us to the Mother City. And Letsatsi is here with us to join us. Let us give him a proper African welcome. Woo! You can do better than that. Let's go. Woo! Thank you. Let's give it up for Letsatsi. If I can please ask then our panelists to please join me on the stage so we can kickstart the panel discussion. Let's go through our part here. So we can go through. You can start here. No, that's one here. It's too much.
Can put it here. Thank you.
Great stuff. Ladies, it's wonderful to have you again. I think, having women at the forefront of this World Cup has really been one of the success factors. And today we just want to unpack a little bit about your roles and what it is that we can look forward to next year. And I'm going to start with you, MEC Masupia, around government's support and commitment. I think you really touched on earlier on, from three spheres at a national, provincial, and local level. Now, government has always, made the support for netball without hesitation. It was an easy decision. What is it, I think, that, drove and motivated from a government perspective to sign up and support netball and continue to do so?
Yeah, no, thank you very much for the opportunity. And you're correct. Government's commitment to the development of netball came naturally, but it's also legislated. We have to do it. But that is not what drove us. The part of it being legislated is not what drove us. What drove us as government, especially as Gauteng, is the fact that we had made a commitment ourselves in the Department of Sports, Arts, Culture. We still have recreation at provincial level. That we have noticed talent in different ways. The schools that we support, we have netball programs that we have with schools at different levels. So our we then had a discussion with the new premier, that we have to grow it. Apart from taking it to townships, we had also to make sure that we partner with people who've been in the field for much longer than we have, because yes, legislation is there, but if you're not talking to people who are in the environment itself, you're bound to make mistakes. So if you want me to talk to commitment as government in terms of what exactly we're doing at national level, there's an amount of money. I don't know if I'm allowed to speak to figures, but I will. There's an amount of 90 million that is going to be already, not going to be, it has already been committed, but it will be dispersed over a period of 3 years. Yeah, in different amounts. That's at national level. At provincial level also, there's the amount of money that we're going to commit in addition to what national will be allocating to us to support netball. Local government also, there's a commitment. I'm sure municipalities can speak for themselves, but you must remember that we also give municipalities grants to support sports. So I think there is a balance that can be managed. But however, we also need accountability. It's government money that we're spending. So accountability from Netball South Africa, and you have been doing very well, guys. Keep it up. Let's keep working that way. Yeah, no, they're not giving us any problems. So province, we are having discussions, new discussions. We had to relook at them after the meeting that we had with the president, because priorities change as things develop. So I think I'll leave it there for now.
Thank you for, I think, quite an in-depth, just background and overview on government support. Now, to our President, Cecilia Monokwane, SPAR and Telkom, we spoke about the fact that they are family, they've been part of a family, and I think, what stands out for me is the fact that you made it possible to bring in private and public sector as well. For those people sitting on the sidelines, how have you achieved that? How have you gotten it right to make sure that they all work towards the common purpose, which is what Netball South Africa stands for?
Look, Simi, netball is a team sport. And if you miss that part of saying netball is a team sport, you'll never understand. In netball, we don't have sponsors, as I said, we've got partners. And once you join the family, we cannot say you are segregated or you work in silence, because it will kill us. So every partner in netball, they work together. One thing that other federations, I don't think they do, but our partners in netball, they sit in one room and prepare a year for netball. That people don't know that. They sit in one room and say, as partners of netball, what are we going to do this year for netball? However, that we were taught, brilliantly by SPAR, because they've been with us for 23 years. But, let's mention the years. 23 years. SPAR believed in netball when no one believed in women's sport at the time. And they said, let's take you through, let's go through with you, and let's see where this can take us. And it became such a beautiful, partnership that when you want anything from SPAR, I can tell you, I can make a call anytime to Charlene and say, Charlene, we have this project. Can we have sanitary towels, for example, which is not part of our contract, by the way. And Charlene will say, how many boxes do you need? You need people like that to say to you, how can we help you? You'll call Rieta and say, Rieta, I know I'm hijacking you. Marlene, I know I'm hijacking you. However, I have to do this one because we have to do it for the girls. Remember, for us, it's about changing a girl's child's life. If we change Bongim Somi's life, we change a Shadin van der Merwe's life, we change an Imana Marifender's life, a Zanele Vimbele's life. To me, it says you're doing something that somebody couldn't do. And SPAR is good at that. That's why we even have joined hands with them on the GBV to say we lead a federation that is about women. And women are abused. Women are killed every second, every moment. And we're working together with them to say, let's do this together. Then you come to Telkom. Telkom, they came in at the time that, that call. It's one call that I think have changed my life as a president in netball. Because they made sure that we change that girl's child's life. Because the girls will tell you, when are we starting Telkom League? Because they now sleep in hotels. They never used to sleep in hotels. They are dressed, they are transported. At the end of the day, the most important thing, we give them money for them playing this tournament. And it's something that has never happened before. So to us, Telkom came in and they said, no, we don't want to end up at an elite level only. We also want to go to schools. We want to be partners because schools are your associate members. We want to go there. Then the TNC came about. And can I tell you that with Telkom TNC, with collaboration with Netball South Africa, I'm telling you, last year we went to, the first time, we went to Region 5 games. We came back with gold medals with school kids. Majority of those kids that were playing there were school kids and some of our kids. This year we're going to Lulongwe, and I am definite. No, I've got a very good voice, don't worry. I'm not worried about the mic. I know that we are going to Lulongwe, and those kids, because of we identify them at TNC, they're going to make the country proud. They're still going to, to defend the title and come back with the title. So in SPAR and in Telkom, that's why we will always say, Telkom, leave your SPAR is good for everything netball.
Now, Chair Lady, of course, an event of this magnitude requires a lot of financial backing, a lot of planning, and now that the commitment has been made, you must be relieved. What's next? What else is coming up, and what is the first thing that you're going to do, knowing that you've got the financial backing and support?
Yeah, as I said earlier, that we're really proud as the organizing committee in terms of the more funding that we're getting from our partners. I think we've said it, that this event is not about only South Africa or Cape Town. It's about the whole continent and the whole world. One of the key things for us is that we are calling upon, because it's a women's sport event. I said it's the biggest women's sport event. We're calling more sponsors to come on board. And as I said earlier on, SPAR and Telkom would have not come on board if the relationship that they had with netball was not the way the president is explaining it. And therefore, based on that, we are really delighted as a board that now they're going to help us in terms of our budget, but obviously also being given the responsibility of stewardship of this World Cup. We have a responsibility to account. We have a responsibility to act professionally and with integrity, because at the end of the day, one of our key fundamental success pillars that we've put is that after this World Cup, netball must not be where it is now. It must really be somewhere else. And therefore, it must be having more of your Telkom and more of your SPAR. And we are really hopeful that with this announcement today, we're going to have more of partners coming through to support women's sport and to support netball.
Indeed, it certainly is a catalyst, and we are looking forward, I think, to just netball growing as an organization. I want to take it back to you, MEC, around the conversation of development in sport, because an event of this magnitude undoubtedly touches the development objectives, not just of Netball South Africa, but of government as a whole. What does that mean for you, as government, to see that filter through the legacy program that is being rolled out across the country?
Yeah. I'm going to start by referring to the meeting that we had with the president. Was it sometime last 3 or 4?
Friday, Netball Friday.
Netball Friday, yes. And she had us wear, the proper regalia. Look, we discussed quite a number of things. I think we had 5 priority items on our agenda. But she raised 3 that she was passionate about. And I'm going to start with development of netball of the girl child who is at schools and all of those things. We had that already, but she wants us to take it to another level. So given the work that we're doing already, what she added, the element that she added, and which I like very much and we committed to, is the 15 girls. She said 15 girls that she wants government to provide with bursaries or scholarships, that those girls that we identify at, lower levels of schooling, they still have a future. They're going to go to university, they have their lives to lead. So what are we doing for them? So that's a very easy commitment for us to do as government. So we then said, well, I said to her, it's fine, we'll do it because all departments, we have that responsibility of providing bursaries. But this particular one, I want it located in the Premier's office, so that when we have partners, we don't duplicate, we add to the entire ask of whatever women's netball in South Africa needs. Partners have their commitments, so now we're not going to go to duplicate what they have committed. So that's one of the things that we'll do. The 15 girls will commit to, we'll get the Premier to also commit a number, because this is 15 from the department. We'll locate the commitment in his office so that we get other departments to commit. So we want to grow that 15 number of girls that she wants. And given her character, I know we dare not fail, but earlier on I said we're not going to fail this champions here, because it's all about you. What you're doing, you're going to pass on. You're going to be, not ambassadors, mentors rather, to these young girls that we will be identifying in schools. So we will be carrying your responsibility on our shoulders, on your behalf. And then we dare not fail. But as government, we can do that. We can sign for it. This will take these girls to school. We need tertiary institutions to partner with as well. They can add to the 15. So it's easy to grow that. That's one. The other thing that we committed to was building what she wants, a world-class netball
arena.
That is a big commitment, where the level at which she has pitched it obviously needs a lot of investment, so National must come on board in this particular case. The new partners that you're talking about, these ladies already have a commitment. We need to get more partners on board to make sure that we realize that we can't do it alone as government, but we can drive it. So together with yourselves as a board and the president and whoever else take responsibility in your work, in your environment, we will drive that. And it's something that cannot be done in 1 or 2 years. It will, it will develop over a period of time. And the last commitment that we made is the business side of netball. So that it's something that we still need to conceptualize properly, so that if any of these young ladies decide that, I'm a player, I'm a good player, including yourself, who knows? You're an MC now, you probably are paid for what you do. It's part of business. But if you decide that you want to produce netball apparel on your own, or they decide to do that, or any other young person elsewhere decide that they want to do that, it's our responsibility as government to assist them to make the environment conducive. We made a commitment, and what we said when we had our meeting with ourselves is that I don't want to commit to something that I cannot do, given the responsibility that I have. So let's be realistic. This, that I can commit to. This, that, and the other will take to the Premier. So we are very clear. National is building stadia in townships, which is good. We're also going to be building, we have 5 regions. So they call them combi courts, but they're combination courts where a lot of things can be done. Different sporting courts can take place. Some will be indoor, some will be outside. So as province, we already have a budget to that. It is going to be done. We're working together with the Gauteng Gambling Board, because in their board members they have, and you must meet with them. Make sure, because they are counterparts, you operate at their level, you must meet with them. Make sure that they commit beyond the 5. This is already budgeted for, we will do. But we have more townships. We have the existing ones in other areas that need to be maintained. So, and because that decision is made at a board level, I would like you to meet with them. So that's a commitment that we're making.
Sure,
Thanks.
that's quite huge commitments, and I think
but doable,
absolutely doable, and a very exciting roadmap in terms of netball's future. So, thank you very much for that, MEC. President Cecilia, again, back to you. We just witnessed the Spa Diamond Challenge taking place, where both South African teams, did a phenomenal job. But I want to talk particularly about the President's 12, because I think that's testament to the depth and the talent that we've got in this country. I mean, how confident are you, in terms of the Spa Proteas performance next year? That question always comes up. And then beyond, looking at the youngsters that actually participated from the President's 12.
Look, the President's 12 is, it's my team, by the way. After the girls, I'll start a little bit back, Simi, to say after the girls went to New Zealand, to the Fast 5 World Series, and came back with a silver medal, a round of applause, don't be jealous. I mean, Simi, Fast 5 started playing in 2010, and for the first time, South Africa went to the finals, and we were beaten by Australia in the finals, and we came back with the silver medals with underdogs. Those girls were unknown, nobody knew them, nobody knew the coaches, and it was like, oh, it's South Africa. And you could see that when people took court, when they played us, they were like, oh, these girls. But my girls were hungry, they are young, they want to go out there, they want to show the world what we can do. That's why I say to people, we've got so much talent in netball South Africa that is unbelievable. You look at the Fast 5, you look at the President's 12, and you look at the Spa Proteas. At this moment, I don't wish to be the head coach of the country. I don't wish to be. Because the depth of talent and the kind of the commitment that the players have, and what the coach saw at President's 12, because I had a meeting with her, and she says to me, President, I've got a program, and under this program, I want to include some of the President's 12. And I'm like, I contracted 24, don't take me, don't take me beyond that. And she's like, President, it's not me. It's the depth of the talent we have in the country. So we decided when we came into Netball South Africa that this thing of concentrating on 15 players is not going to take this country anywhere. We need to have a succession plan. Hence, now we had the Fast 5, now we have the President's 12, now we've got the Spa Proteas. I know Bongi, where she's sitting, she might be the captain, but she's panicking because there's a lot of talent that is coming up. Girls are coming up and saying, we are knocking on those doors. We also want to be Spa Proteas. And that's the kind of commitment and competition you want to see in the country. And I know we are talking 2023 Netball World Cup. To me, what I saw at Commonwealth Games and what I saw at the Diamond Challenge are two different SPA Proteas. And I'm talking from experience, and I'm talking from how I know my girls and how I know how they behave and how they do things. I saw a bunch of happy, united players that wants to represent this country and that wants to make a change and that wants to finish on the medal podium. That's what I saw at the SPA, Diamond Challenge. And I said to myself, God, sometimes I ask and I say, you don't answer my prayers. This time, you answered. This is what you want to see. And I said, okay, if you see this and you see the President's 12, I mean, they came to me, see me, the President's 12. The girls, they said, President, we beat number 9 in the world. And I'm like, who's number 9 in the world? I was pretending, remember I know the rankings. And I'm like, who's number 9 in the world? They say, Scotland. And I'm like, what's the meaning of that? They said, President, we are number 8. The President 12 is number 8 in the world. And I was like, girls, come on. And they were like, yes, President, we are no country, we are nothing, we are just the President's 12, but we are number 8 in the world. So that's the kind of, talent we have in the country. And I'm telling you, Simi, even the coaches that we have put there, I mean, it's not only about the players. It's about the coaches that you put with the players. They say a lot, because look at Fast 5. Look at the President's 12. Look at the SPA Proteas now. And I'm saying we have to qualify, by the way, with the SPA Baby Proteas. We have to qualify. Remember, we ended up being number 7 at the youth games that were held in 2017. Remember, we couldn't hold them in Fiji because of the COVID. And we are still number 7. We still have to qualify in Africa to go and play the 2025 Youth World Cup in this country, man. Gibraltar, man. I never know how to call this country. But anyway, we still have to qualify. But with the quality of players we have, that we are exposing them to TNC, we are exposing them to the SPA champs, we are exposing them to TNL, I am definite and sure that we will qualify in Africa to go and play in Gibraltar in 2025. The kind of coach we have put there. We have put there a 5-time winning champion of the TNL. What more do we want? There's depth in South Africa. And one thing that I like seeing, that I see in netball South Africa now, it's growth. We're growing. Look at the males. First time going overseas, history making, go there, come back with a silver medal. I mean, to me, it's, hi man, we are there. We're Sifikile, Singapagati, Sifikile, please.
Sifikile, Singapagati, indeed. Thanks so much, Madam President. And I think last question then for our Madam Chair, 241 days to that first centre pass. What is the state of readiness from a board perspective?
Yeah, look, we started slow. The lull because of the COVID had a challenge for us. But I can safely say today that, as the Minister said, that the train has left the station. There is progress. You've heard that on Wednesday, it's a draw. All the 16 teams that have qualified. On Friday, I'm just giving some of the events that are happening as a build-up. On Friday, we're opening one of the facilities in the Northern Cape, the project that the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture is doing it as part of the legacy. On the 5th of October, we're opening the ticket sales. Next day, 5th of December, sorry. The ticket sales. And then in January, there's a quad series, which that part of quad series is going to even help us to test our systems in terms of the event. So really, the tournament director here and her team are really doing their best that what we've said and what we've promised. You see, it's nice when you go and bid and you say we'll host the best ever Netball World Cup. We'll come up with a very good legacy programs. Those programs we're amplifying to make sure that what we've promised to World Netball, those things are going to be realized. But I think more important to us, we've been saying, we want when the people come to South Africa at the beginning of July, we need to show them our warmth. We need the experience of us as South Africans to be shown to them who we are, Ubuntu Betu, as Africa, So, but in terms of state of readiness, look, there's much progress. I mean, our venue, ICC, has been confirmed. Madam President invited her board to come through here in September, and in that meeting that they had, we had an opportunity to take the World Netball Board and show them the venue so that they can start to visualize where the event is going to take place. So there is progress. I know that there's few teething issues. The issue around mobilizing to make sure that everyone is on board. And I'm saying today here, as we're sitting here, that it's always by word that everyone can know what is happening. So people that are here, can you help us, help government, help Netball South Africa, that we go out there and say, Netball World Cup 2023, it's still happening in Cape Town from the 28th of July to the 6th of August. And all what we need is support. And I think they've said it all, even in terms of government, on how they're going to help us. Thank you.
On that note, thank you very much, Madam Chair. I think there's our call to action. That is certainly a call to action to make sure that the message does travel far and wide, and to reassure everybody that we're still on tracks, all systems good to go, and the Netball World Cup will certainly take place as planned. Thank you very much to our panelists this morning. It has been lovely just to get your thoughts, your insights, and really get a sense of where we are ahead of the 2023 World Cup. We're now going to open up the floor to our guests from the media side of things, and I'm just going to ask Bruce if he can help us with 1 or 2 floating mics so that we can take some of your questions to the panel.
Right. Any questions from anybody? Media, this is your golden opportunity. Anybody can ask a question.
We were very clear.
I think the ladies have touched everything.
We were clear.
I think we're covered.
We were clear.
Well done. Thank you. The show
it's
goes
a big
on.
up for us. That's good.
Perfect. So what we're going to do next, we're actually going to get to the real business at hand, and that is going to be the official signing of the contracts. And I'm going to ask our 2 ladies, Helen Barrett, actually from SPAR, she is the marketing manager, as well as Ugugu Mthembu, the chief marketing officer, to please get ready to make sure that we put the ink on the paper and then to sign and seal the deals.
Signature there. There we go. There's $1 million one here. Okay, so could I please ask us and tell them to just stand there with all of you behind. And there we are with the contract. Right. Just stand there with two signatures. There we go. Right. Okay. Okay, we're going to take it out the way now. Look at it. Look at it. Everybody. Yeah. Are we all happy at the back there? Okay, now we're going to give you the first one. We just want to check. Okay, now we're going to just do a nice. I'm going to take this away. Right? Okay. Sure. Okay. Let's go. Okay. Now we're going to ask Sia to come forward to take the table away, and then we're going to do the handshake. And then we're going to do a ball one, don't worry. Carefully held. Reg, the first one, you hold that. Okay. Hold that together. Right. Let's take it. Okay, guys, tell me when you're ready. Okay, now this is a trick. We're all going to shake each other's hand. So as you're going to shake it, you go like that. I don't know how you do it. We're going to do that. We got it? Yeah. Right. I just want two balls to be held. Now we have another one. Okay, so I need, we will come. Okay. Right, let's go close. Anyone just go directly here, please? Yeah. Great. Right, you're good. Another one? Right. Keep doing that, keep doing that. Okay, everybody at the back? Right, now we'd like the board to come through and then the small coaches to come in the front here for a group picture, okay? Charlie? One shot. Okay. Small coaches will go in front. Okay, you're right. We must see you, eh? We must see you, so just make sure you just move a little bit there. Sorry. Okay, so this picture's gonna, we do photographers first, it's your turn, then you're all gonna move to the side so we can bring in the cameras, okay? So this is a...
Oh, right, everyone just look at you, please, just for the first one, please, that's great. Another one. And the last one, okay.
Okay, don't move, now we've got cameras at the back, so can these people just move in so we get enough? Just tell me, is that okay, guys? You can, yeah. Is it okay there? Right, everybody's smiling. Boss lady in the center is happy.